Hi, I'm Haya Sobh. Welcome back to LTU Tech Talks. Today I'm here with Dr. Muqbil. She works at LTU and today she's going to tell us a little bit about her experience there. So thank you for sitting with me today, Dr. Muqbil.
Thank you for having me. My name is Irfana Muqbil. I'm an assistant professor of biochemistry at our Natural Sciences Department at LTU. I teach chemistry and biochemistry courses there, and I also do cancer research. And that's my training and my background as a cancer researcher. And I do a little bit of outreach activities as well, which is my personal interest. And then since LTU has been very supportive in that, so that kind of helps both ways.
No, of course, of course. So tell me, like, when you started at LTU, what made you even start working there in the first place?
I did my postdoc from Kermanus Cancer Center, and then I was mostly a researcher throughout till that point, but then I had a huge interest in teaching, and so I started looking at options. I got a fellowship, which was a consortium fellowship between Wayne State University and University of Detroit Mercy from NIH. It was a huge build grant, what they call. So I applied for the postdoctoral fellowship. I got it, which means that I had to teach some courses at UD Mercy, and I was still doing my research at Kermanus. So that went on for 2 years, and basically I was trained to be a teacher, so which was very helpful because I did not have any background of teaching. And then after the fellowship ended, I taught at UD Mercy. I was looking for faculty positions, and few came up in Michigan. I'm kind of area bound. My family lives here, so it was like I have to be in Michigan.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for any other places. And then I interviewed at LTU, and looking at the diversity in faculty and student populations and the welcoming way it was. So I accepted there. They offered me the position, accepted it, even though I was interviewing at other places as well, but then I withdrew the applications, and that's when I started in fall of 2021.
Oh, no, that sounds really nice. You felt that it was like a family type of environment,
Yeah,
like you felt very comfortable.
Friendly, yes, for people like immigrants who come from different places, people of color and other things, it's just you would want to work at a place where you will feel comfortable and not alienated.
Yeah.
And LTU is one of those places.
Yeah, no, it's really nice to hear. I recently graduated from LTU back in December of 2023, and I'm still working there as well. And I had the chance to, my family's actually from Connecticut, so I had the opportunity to go back to Connecticut for a couple months until I start my other graduate program. But LTU really is just, they really are like family. Like, I'm so comfortable there, and I just like kind of love walking around campus and seeing so many people that like I know, and just like popping into people's offices, and everyone's there so welcoming. So I was like, I kind of want to stay here for a little bit before I go back to school. So it's nice to hear from like a faculty perspective that you feel the same way.
No, that's true, and it's such a close-knit community, and it's very rare that you are working at an institution and then you can see higher people in higher administration in events. You know what I mean? Like you go to events and you'll see the president there, the provost there. In fact, I was like, I mentioned it to Dr. Sobh the other day. I was like, it's so good to see you in all these events. Like it's not because I've worked at so many different places. You would rarely see the president of the university, on like regular basis, but that's not true in LTU. You are such a close-knit community, and there are so many events and things happening that you are always, kind of bumping into each other.
Yeah.
And it becomes kind of at a point where you feel like a family, where you know each other very closely.
Yeah, no, it is definitely a very good environment to be in, and it sounds like you've had a great experience working there.
I did.
How is your experience working there? I know you touched on a bunch of points, but what is it like working at LTU?
I love working there in the way that I have maintained it from the beginning that, when you are working at a place, in academia especially, so there are already a lot of stresses from, like teaching and dealing with other things, but then there's a stress from the workplace, and you cannot actually, a lot of things just happen it doesn't matter where you are, but I have never felt that stress of work from you know, being at LTU. I love coming to LTU, working with people. People have been very supportive, and starting from like people who are at your colleagues or people who are in higher administration, everybody has been supportive. Very I like mentoring really well through you know, like exploring the water there, and then also in terms of research and pedagogy, like wherever I needed support, there's always like, you know, I never felt like I have been struggling with anything, because especially when you are at a small institution and people do talk about like how they don't have funds to, you know, like for supplies and stuff, but I would say I've been lucky enough, you know, like whenever I needed something, or I still need, like we have procured like 2 big equipments recently, last year Opentron 2, this year ChemiDoc imaging system, and then also because of the importance they are giving to the research now, which has always been there, but obviously now. So I get like these small grants from the institution where I can like do the preliminary work for my research and then apply for bigger grants. So, which is very amazing, and I love it. I enjoy working there.
No, good. It sounds like there's always someone for everything that you need, and you know that you are going to be able to do whatever you want to do and whatever you're thinking of. So that's really, really good to hear. Really good to hear.
Yep, that's true.
No, good. And what is your experience like working with the students? Like how, for me, it makes a very big difference when professors are like available and when they don't make you feel like you're just a number. Right. So what is your experience working with students?
That's true. Like that's the beauty of being in a smaller place where you know, the student to faculty ratio is small, so students have access to the faculty, and you can come in anytime. We really, there is a one-to-one kind of relationship with students and faculty when you know each other, when you're working so closely, and then once you build that relationship, it's kind of a win-win situation. You like doing what you are doing, and students love to be there, and then I have heard from many students about like how passionate the faculty are about things that they do, whether it's teaching or research or any other activities that are involved in, which usually they don't see at other places, because obviously when you go to a bigger institution, you're just a number, you're just given whatever from the surface, from the surface, like the information, and that's it. But no, having small class sizes, having more research opportunities, and then avenues once you graduate, you know, like outside of the institution. I think those are the things that make LTU unique and different from other institutions. Yeah,
no, it's very, very true. Even from a graduate myself, I've seen that. It makes a very, very big difference. So thank you for that. No, and thank you for sitting with me here today. We have a video about your work, and I loved seeing you like in the lab with all the students, and I even got to like do some things with the students, do some things in the lab with the students, which was really, really cool. So let's watch it.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Haya Sobh, and today I'm with Dr. Muqbil from Lawrence Tech University. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, thank you for doing this.
Of course. So tell me a little bit about yourself and your background.
I have a PhD in biochemistry. I'm a biochemist by training, and I'm a cancer researcher. So I came to Lawrence Tech in 2021. I teach mostly biochem courses and sometimes chemistry courses, and then I do cancer research. But what we're doing today is kind of part of my outreach interest. I have a huge interest in outreach activities, especially bringing more girls in STEM fields. I got this opportunity, I didn't want to miss it, and so here we are.
No, thank you, thank you. So tell me like a little bit more about what we're doing here today. I know you got a grant to do this project, so what exactly is the project and what got you interested in the first place?
Okay, so as a biochemist, I'm a member of American Society of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. It's a national society, very big, has members national and international, and they give this science and outreach grant every year. So there are like 4 or 5 grants that they give, but a lot of people apply for that. So I had a great interest in it, but it just doesn't need your science idea, it needs an audience. So while working here and through many events, I met Jay Jessen. He's the director of the Marburg STEM Center, and I learned about his outreach activities. I was like, oh, this is a perfect combination, my science and your resources. So when the applications were open, I reached out to him and he was more than willing to help me. So we put together a proposal that we will bring in high school students, and we have Racket Up Detroit, which works with these students from Detroit Public School, and they agreed as well. So we wrote a proposal, and then we received the grant, and they said that our proposal was among the top ones, so which was great.
Congrats.
And so, and we also deliberately put it in the month of March, because March is celebrated as Women's History Month, so we wanted to coincide it, and they liked the idea as well. And so we had them doing the GMO, which is genetically modified organisms activity. It's a kit already available through Bio-Rad. So what they do is last class they were here, they choose food items that are their favorite probably, we had a choice of food items for them, so they had to choose from them. And then they will see if they have been genetically modified or no. Because in US, if it's less than 5% of genetically modified food, you really don't have to mention it on the label. So it could be a surprise for them, like, oh, they didn't know that food is genetically modified. So that's the one part. And second part is that we'll have a debate between them. And we have the pro and against. So people who think genetically modified foods are good, and those, because this is one of the most controversial topics around, and we all know people who just don't even want to say the word GMOs. So we want to see what their opinion is, and then give them some scientific background about those pros and cons, and then see if that changed any of their ideas. So we told the students, because they are doing this for the first time, they probably never had a pipette in their hands. So it's not about what we get as a result of this, but it's an overall learning experience for them. So how do we work in the lab, how the scientific method, and then also how does the knowledge of science help you understand an important scientific concept, not just that, but how you become the advocates of science. So if you have people in your family who think that GMOs are, whatever their opinion is, and based on how this activity changed your opinion, you can help people understand. And that's one of the important things that I always have tried to make my subject so relevant, like, so that people who are around people who are like, there are so many controversies. So I always, when I teach my students, I tell them that you're not just learning to pass this class, you are the advocates. So when you go out, you tell people what you learn and how that affects your
It's all about like the experience and kind of applying it into the real world. And I feel like with high school students too, when they are going to college, they're kind of a little nervous, and they're like, oh, like, what am I going to learn? Am I actually going to like use what I'm going to learn? So it's really nice that this is something they're definitely going to learn, like use in the real world. So it's really nice. No, it's really such like an admirable project. And when I was reading about it, I was like, I want to see it for myself. How have the students been doing so far? Like, are they excited?
Yes,
nervous?
I could see when I actually define in the simple terms what a genetically modified organism is, and I saw some eyebrows. Oh, okay, now we understand. So it was the first time having them here, so they were a bit nervous. We are hoping today they will be more comfortable because they have been here. And like I said, we didn't put any kind of stress on them that you have to do everything correct. Nobody does that. So I think it will be more fun today, now that we will have a debate of sorts as well. And we will have them fill some questions, so we'll see if what overall impact on them would be. But we are more excited. And it seems they're excited too, so we'll see how that goes.
Good. No, that's all that matters, that everyone is excited to be there and just learning something.
And based on how this goes, and this has been pretty easy and a fun experience, so we will do more of it every year, because the grant is like they give it every year. So if they see the success of the project, they can fund you every year, and then we might have more fun projects on it, depending on who our student population is.
You must be excited about that.
Yeah, I am. I have a great interest in outreach, so this was something that I was like, I have to do.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
And thank you again for just having me today.
Thank you so much for coming here today. It was nice talking to you.
Welcome back to LTU Tech Talks. We got to see a little bit about your work and the grant that you got, and it was very, very interesting to see. So if you want to tell us a little bit more about the grant, I know it's amazing.
So I have a huge interest in outreach, especially reaching out to girls, middle school, high school girls, and kind of informing them more about STEM fields and how, and kind of attracting them to the field. So I've been working with Michigan Science Center a little bit. They have this STEMinista program where they have these STEMinista models. So they have a cohort of girls from middle school. I worked a little bit with them. And then as a biochemist, like there is a National Society, American Society of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. I'm a member of that. And they give these outreach grants. So that was on my mind that I should apply and for this grant. And then I did, along with, and you have to identify the group of students, student population that you want to work with. And Jay Jessen, he's the director of the Marburger STEM Center. He helped me in identifying that group of students. They came from Ragged Up Detroit, which is a nonprofit organization. So so we received the grant, we applied, received the grant, and then we had the students come over. It was a 3-day event, and one was kind of virtual, and we sent them the materials and stuff, and they came over for 2 days. We did what we call a GMO activity, genetically modified organisms. So in US, if you have 5% or less than 5% GMO in food items, they don't put it on the label. So what we do is we ask students to choose from some of the food items that they eat every day, for example, a cereal or corn chips or something, and then isolate DNA, amplify it, and then analyze it, whether it's a GMO or no. So it might not show on the box, but if it comes out as a GMO, it kind of is a surprise. And then the best part was that we had a debate with students. Like we asked them to give their opinion about what, because it's one of the controversial topics.
Yeah, for sure.
And everybody is like, either people are like, they swear by the GMOs, or they just don't like it. So, so therefore we had them like, what are your opinions about this? So they had a discussion about what they thought about GMOs, and then we gave them some research-based evidence, like this is what it is. And it was, overall, it was a very successful event. The students enjoyed it. They had fun, you saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, first day they were a little nervous, but then we made them relax. It's okay, we messed up, that's fine. So as long as we are following the safety rules. And then the second day they had fun, and I enjoyed it a lot, and I will be reapplying for the grant. And that could be also a stepstone for bigger grants, because you want to show what your impact is, the impact of your work on society and stuff. And there are many NIH and NSF grants that actually support these activities with, especially with high school students. So that is our goal, to apply for a bigger grant. But the smaller grants are fun too.
No, I mean, it was very, very interesting, and it was so cool to see. And it definitely is like a big topic that everyone's talking about. So the fact that you actually got to show students that, and they got to apply real world stuff into the lab, it probably, they learned a lot. And I know I learned a lot, so, and I hope everyone else learns a lot. So no, thank you. Thank you so much for letting me see all of that.
No, it was fine. It was good to have you there.
Yeah,
the
thank
students liked
you.
it too. Yeah.
Of course. And if you have any last words to the community about just education and LTU in general.
Yeah, I mean, about LTU, I would say that it's so well located in the Southfield area, and then because the class sizes are smaller, and there are so many other opportunities for students to explore research opportunities and other opportunities that yeah, I would say come to LTU and let's show you. We have, and also for an institution like you might say that other institutions are of similar size may not have all the facilities that we have, and we have great equipment especially in our department, and every year we bring in a new equipment that kind of expands our research profile, and students enjoy working like with the new techniques and new equipment, and they learn things that, and they have the knowledge and the skills that they can apply in the real world, and they are up to date with the current techniques and skills, and that put them in a really good position after they graduate. So whether they want to go to the grad school or they want to go in an industry or find a job, they have all those skills that they need, and that's all available to you.
No, thank you. Thank you for sitting with me today, and thank you for today's episode of LTU Tech Talks, and we'll see you next time.